Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Grab a Cup of Knit and Chat. It has been a long time since I did a video, a couple of months at least. And it's not because I didn't want to, it's because I've just been busy. You hear podcasters all the time saying that they're really busy and life happens. Well, that's basically what happened. But I'm glad that you're here now. I'm going to try to get more on a regular schedule. I haven't really done a whole lot since Flock this year. I just went. I wasn't a vendor, but between that and work, um, being ill, taking a trip, it's just been a lot. So today is November the 16th, 2024. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Although you can't tell it by the lighting in here, it took me a hot minute to get it somewhat bright enough to record because it was so dark. And the window that I record in front of normally, it's coming up on winter. It's getting dark outside earlier. And I should have recorded earlier, but I ran some errands. So now is whenever I got to do it. So to get us started, I'm Maggie. I'm Grab a Cup of Knit and Chat. This is my fun little corner on YouTube where I get to talk about my crafting. The majority of it is knitting. I do crochet. I am attempting spinning. I sew. I do all kinds of stuff. So right now it's probably going to be kind of a mix between the two. I'm going to start out with finished objects, and I'm going to start with what I'm wearing. I have an Instagram account. It is Crafty Maggie 50 at Crafty Maggie 50 on Instagram. And I was one of the lucky chosen to do a test knit for Laura Penrose for her Maxine Sweater, which will be coming out at the end of this month. I just don't have an exact date. I finished mine around the 1st of November. I started it several times, and it's nothing for the pattern. The pattern is written amazing. My issue was I'm not good at choosing colors. I didn't like the color I chose to start with. I wanted to do this color. I wanted to do that. The pattern has a 6-color color work yoke and a 3-color color work yoke. And I chose to go with the 3-color. My other one that I'd started is a charcoal gray with pinks. And I don't think my pinks are that big of a difference in color, so I'm having to work around that. So I went on with the cream in the one that I wanted to make, and I got this one done. I'm going to stand up if I can and let you see the yoke. Mine is the size 8, which is the next to the largest size, I believe. I have a 54.5-inch bust, and I love it. So when she sent the pattern to us for the test, it's in DK weight yarn, and I chose my colors, and I went with the pattern as it was written. I made no changes whatsoever. There's a turtleneck, and there's a folded down collar. I did the folded down collar. I did the sleeves as written, and you can see they're kind of bunchy here. But the way the sweater fits, I could probably get away with making a size 7 with the way that it fits, because I have more than enough positive ease. I could go a size down. And in there she has some shaping where you can use a smaller yoke and then do a bigger body, and so on and so forth. But I did the split hem. Sorry, you can't really see it very well because I'm just not that tall. Um, and I love the length. I love the length of the sleeves. A lot of people thought they were too long, and you can change them. I did not. The color work is simple enough that, quite honestly, at this point in time, I've done 2 colorwork sweaters, this one and another one that I'm going to show you. So it's very beginner friendly. Just read the pattern through, read all the tips. I used, what was it? Kelborn. I don't have the tags. Kelborn Scout in their DK. And this is like the natural. And it's a woolly. When I first put it on, it's kind of itchy, but after a couple minutes, it's great. And then for the color work, the multicolor is Cascade Waves. And then the yellow is 2 strands of fingering held together of a yellow that I had. I didn't have a ball band for that. But the Cascade Waves is in the color Unicorn. And I love it because there's just enough color change in the Cascade Waves with that yellow with it that it does not, it matches. It's in the same color family, but it doesn't hide the definition of the stitches. And I love my sweater. So that's what I'm wearing. Be on the lookout for it. Another finished object is right here. This is the Jethro cardigan by Tanis Fibers, I think, where it's crocheted granny squares, and then you pick up and knit the sleeves and the ribbing and the button band. This is done in Cascade 220 Superwash. It's a size 2. It was made for a 5-year-old girl. One of my coworkers saw the one that I was wearing that I made out of Cascade. And she really liked it. So she picked out the colors. So what I did was I alternated the black and white, surrounded it with the red, did the red sleeves, did the black tip on the sleeves and around the button band. And let me see. I just really don't want to unbutton it. I just hung it on my steamer hanger, but I'll give you a little bit closer look. I did all the trim on the red and the black. And then there's the sleeve ends. And then the buttons I picked up at Joann's. It's 4 buttons. I probably could have put another 1 or 2 on there, but the Mickey buttons, they're sparkly and glittery, and the mini buttons. It's made for a 5-year-old little girl who likes loves Disney. So I thought I'd show that to you. I've just been so bad at recording, and this is going away on Monday to the owner so that it can be shipped. So I thought I would give you a look at it first. I'm very proud of that. I followed the directions for the pattern to the T, except for the color tip around the edging. I thought that just kind of set off everything and tied it all together, and it looked really nice. Can't remember, but I don't think so. I just did a regular bind off on those. The next finished object is my other color work, and it happens to be the Alpine Bloom. It's done in a Cascade Heritage sock in a burgundy color. And then the color work is all done in Spin Cycle Yarns, Burning Sensations. That took, for my size, I want to say I knit the next to the largest size. And this took one skein of Spin Cycle plus a little bit of a second one. And they're 50-gram skeins. So I'm really glad that when I was at Flock, I grabbed the 2 skeins of that one color. I wished I had grabbed 3 because now I can't get it. I don't know why. I can't find it anywhere. And I grabbed 1 skein of another color, not thinking, and I can't find it anywhere either. So I guess I have enough to do a color work on a hat, and I'm not sure, but I think there's a hat that has a similar pattern, and I thought that would be really cute. But this is done to the pattern. I decided that I would do the lace work collar, which was fairly simple, and then I did the lace work edging on the sleeves, which I wanted to write it to the original, I wanted to knit it to the original pattern the first time. The next time I do the sleeves, I think I would like to knit the sleeves longer than they are in the pattern, and then just do that cuff, like knit it down a couple of inches, and then do just a regular rib on the sleeve. I think I would like that a lot better because these sleeves are a little bit short for me, but then again, I have really big arms because I'm chunky. Let's see. I have my cold drink. I'm not going to show who it's from, but it's a strawberry freeze. They have them for happy hour at this place, and they're so good. I love them, although it's a very rainy and dreary day outside. Oh, I wanted to say about my Maxine sweater. It was like 47 degrees to 49 degrees out today, and it's rainy, and the wind's blowing a little bit, and I run on the hot side, but I wore my Maxine sweater when I was out doing my errands and no jacket, and I've been very comfortable. Okay. So my Alpine Bloom, like I was saying, for the first time, I wanted to knit it straight to pattern. This has been blocked. It's a little wrinkly because it's been worn. And I've had it laid off to the side because the length of it is to the pattern. And I thought, okay, I'm knitting it to the pattern. That's fine. The first time I wore it, I have a black dress that has little bitty sleeves on it. And I wore it over the top of the dress, and it was cute looking. It was comfortable. The only thing that was uncomfortable is the fact that these sleeves are shorter, and the sleeves on that dress were coming right in here, and it was all bunched up, and it was uncomfortable. So if I wear it over a dress again, I'm actually going to have to buy me some sleeveless, like, tank dresses. I like the really long ones because, like I said, I'm a little on the chunky side. I have short legs, and I like my dresses to come down to my ankle or a little bit longer than mid-calf. That's just comfort for me. So I'm on the lookout for some dresses to wear it with. But the weekend after I wore it the first time, I went to see my friend Hailey Ann. So I went to Spokane, Washington. and I had worn it that Friday over the dress, and I was like, you know what? Because I was like, I don't know. I haven't worn it with jeans. I put it on with a pair of jeans, and the hem comes right to the top of the waistband of the jeans. So while we were out and about, and we went to Paradise Fiber, and we went to another yarn shop, and we went to Joann's and a couple other places. And the entire day I found myself yanking on it because every time I would reach up, it would come halfway up my belly. Nobody wants to see that. I did not like that whatsoever. So I have one skein of the same that I had bought at the same time, of the same burgundy color. So it's not a very big rib on this pattern. And I did do a tubular bind off for the first time, and I really like it. But this is coming out, and I'll be putting in a lifeline, taking the rib out and extending it down. I don't know how many inches. I probably want to do another, with where it sits. You can't really see me if I'm like this, but where I'm standing up on my tiptoes, this is the Maxine and the split hem. This is the top of my waist. So this Alpine Bloom sits right here. This is the top of the jeans. It sits right there. And I like mine to be that much longer. So I like it to be right at the end of my bum. So yeah, that's going to get extra length added on. So it's been kind of wadded up on the side, waiting for me to wind the yarn so that I can start that. I really wanted to get some things done because I finished my Maxine on time for the test. Excuse me. And then I finished my Alpine Bloom because it was so close. And like I said, I knit it to the pattern. So I was very proud. Now I'm going to have to go back and fix it because I thought that blocking it out would make it lengthen a little bit, and it did about a quarter inch. So I thought it would grow a little bit more being cascade, but it did not. Anyway, I finished this. I finished that. I finished the Jethro cardigan, and I wanted to get a bunch of things finished. And now I have some other things that I wanted to do. So I don't know. If I had a sleeveless dress that I could wear it over all the time, I wouldn't even go back and lengthen it. I would just keep it because even for summer, it would be great. But I cannot wear it with any type of pants. Sorry, my hair is driving me crazy because I'm letting it grow out from the pixie, and I don't like it. The other finished object I have is actually right here on my mannequin head because it is drying. This is the Joji Locatelli's A Twisted Affair. That's the crown. You can see it whenever I move it up, the cables. This is Malabrigo Rios. I just threw a tag on there. It got a little stretched. Number one, because it's wet. Number two, because I put it on the mannequin. But when I put it on my head, it's still kind of damp. So when I put it on my head, it's tight. So I don't think I'm going to keep it for myself. But we will see whenever it's dry. This is the small. I Went with the small because I know you're supposed to have negative ease on your hats, but I don't like it. I need to go into the large. So I'm going to reknit this. She has it for free on her Ravelry. Hohi Locatelli, Twisted Affair. It's a very simple, easy little cabled pattern, and I love it. And I have not taken a final picture of it yet. It's on my Ravelry, which my Ravelry is, what is my Ravelry? Sorry. I don't think I've really... Linstead M is my Ravelry. I have a few projects on there. There's not a whole lot. I'm trying to get better at using Ravelry. I did put this on there. I actually started it on the 12th of November, and I finished it last night. So, there you go. And that's because I had to find my DPNs for this size. The other thing that I'm doing, that's all my finished projects. It's a lot, and it's not. Oh, I lied. I have some bags that I've done. I didn't bring the other one in. But I've been making myself my own little sewing bags for a while now, and I've done a few. But here we go. Works in progress. That's it. I have a crochet project. I am doing, does it have a picture? It's going to be a black and white picture, but it's for free. It's Yarn Inspirations with Red Heart yarn, and it is called, what are you called? Red Heart Crochet Mosaic Blanket. It's cute. This is in black and white, and it's from Yarn Inspirations. Totally free pattern. If you crochet, it uses a size USI hook, and I have everything in this basket here. It uses Red Heart Super Saver. I is a 5.25 millimeter. This is my boy or boyo or however you want to pronounce it. Hook. I have, this is Coffee, Red Heart Super Saver. I got the jumbo because it's going to take 2 and a little bit of the jumbos. Otherwise, you're buying 3 and 4 packs of the Super Saver. So I'm doing it in the coffee, the cafe latte, and the gray heather. And this is what I have done so far. Right here. I think it's cute. I have a little kitty cat progress keeper. My local yarn shop had those in a pack of 6 for like $4. So there you go. I'm going to move this up. If you've never mosaic knitted or mosaic crocheted, it's actually kind of fun. And it's what I call, I'm trying to mark this for the next time so you can see how much I get done between now and whenever I do plan on doing another video, which hopefully is sooner than later. It just kind of has the stripes, and then it does this mosaic pattern, and then it has more stripes, and then it does the mosaic pattern again, and then it ends with the same process. So mosaic crochet, mosaic knitting. I call it my potato chip projects because they're just, it's like, let me do one more row. Let me see what it looks like. That's the crochet. The next crochet project that I have is yet another blanket, and it is by Two of Wands. Let's see the picture. Do I have an actual picture? Yes. This is also printed in black and white because I try not to print these in color. There you go. And that's by the Mexican Blanket by Two of Wands. I don't have either of these on my Ravelry project page. I really do need to snap pictures and put them on there. I can't remember now whenever I started this one. I'll have to look back and see if I can figure it out. I do know that I just started the crochet one since last Monday. I want to say that I started it on Tuesday of last week, which would have been the 12th. So this one is knitted. It's a knit mosaic. And here's the start. And then the first mosaic piece. And then I did the middle, and I just started this morning the second mosaic side. So there it is. Mine is in very different colors, but I really like them. I got all these colors on sale at Joann's. And I want to say it's been 2 weeks since I started it, but I'm not quite sure. It's made with bulky yarn. I'm using KNC, which is the Joann's Knit and Crochet Premium Yarn. It's a size 6 bulky. This is called Pale Pink. It's also the alpaca, which when I went looking for this, because Wool Needles and Hands, Taylor Earl showed her blanket that she was doing, the same one, the Mexican blanket, and she used KNC bulky, and I don't use bulky yarn hardly at all, really. And so I thought, oh, well, I'll go to Joann's and get some. And it was all on clearance. Lucky me. But they said they're not sure when they're going to get it back. Also, the same KNC in Rust. And then I have Lion Wool Ease in Driftwood, which was already on clearance. It's also a size 6 bulky. This is an acrylic wool mix. And Wool Ease in, what's the color? Slate. So Lion Brand Woolies in Slate and Driftwood. They were also on clearance. And then KNC Rust and Pale Pink, because Rust and Pale Pink were the only 2 colors that Joann's had in the KNC. And the Lion Brand Woolies, those were the only 2 colors, and they just happened to be on clearance. And I just happened to be able to find enough to do my blanket. Which, like I say, lucky me, that kind of matched those 2 colors. But I like it. I like it for me. So those are 2 works in progress. my other works in progress, after I knock everything over, is the Misurina. Not sure if I have a picture of it or not. The Misurina is also by Caitlin Hunter. I do not have an actual picture of it. She did the Alpine Bloom. Let me see if I can pull it up on my... I actually was going to do the Misurina before I did the Alpine Bloom, and I wound up doing that Alpine Bloom instead. But there's the Misurina. It has that color work, and then there's a cable in between the color work. And I love it. I've had that and the Alpine Bloom in my library for a very long time, and I finally got enough nerve to say, you know what, if it doesn't work out whenever I start it, it'll be fine. I can do it. So forgive all of the messiness, but I haven't really gotten that much of it started. This is what I have of the yoke. So I've gotten the lace work part of the yoke done, and I just started the color work. So I really didn't have a whole lot of it done. I really got this far, went to my friends, and then while we were just sitting and talking, I didn't want to have to deal with counting or anything. So when I do color work, this is me. Because this one has this cute little, I don't even know if you can see it, cable in between. It's kind of hard to see. But I have markers on each side because I'm not very used to cables. But this is being knit in Cascade Yarn Heritage. It's superwash merino and nylon. It's a sock yarn. This is color number 5631. And where's the one for this one? This is the bag I made myself. So it's just a little round rice bag. And if you go on YouTube and look up round rice bag, you can get the pattern for free. And there's a video that kind of walks you through it. I love it. And then I put a little pocket inside of it. This is the small one. And I use some faux leather on the bottom. And I adore it. And then I have a different color lining. It's kind of a green fade, and then there's a solid green on the outside with the butterflies. I had this in fat quarters, the material, and I wanted to do something with it, and it was just too short, so it has an extra little piece in there. But you know what, it's mine. I love it. I adore it. So this is my color work color. And it is Millefori Light by Barocco. And it is half wool, half acrylic. And it's a size 2. And my local yarn shop just got this in. And I got that for the color work because this pattern is done in fingering weight yarn. And I had this for something else that I was going to do. And I thought that was just gorgeous. And that's what I'm using. And I just dropped a needle. Sorry. I have needles everywhere. I don't know what's up. I got to go through all of my stuff. So I may actually just be doing some clean out. I took a bunch of scraps that I had. I save scrap yarns for projects. You're going to see one of them I'm working on. I do like the comfy comfort throw, which is the miter square blanket with scraps. I do a magic knot ball, and then I do a jelly roll blanket, which is, I think it's Bakery Bears. I'm not sure. But this, I didn't weave my ends in yet, but this is my first strip of a jelly roll. So you just cast on, and then you just knit as much as you got, or as much as you want to, and then you go for as long as you want to. I'm using my signature needles, straight knitting needles, size 2, US 2. You can do this with DK weight. You can do it with fingering weight. I'm sure you can do it with any weight yarn that you have scraps of. But you know, sometimes I have a lot of scrap of something, and I can do my mighty square blanket. I can do my hexy square where I'm doing the hexy puffs. I can't remember the name of it right now. But you knit little hexagon puffs, and then you stuff them and you knock them off and you throw them in the, I've talked about it before on here. I knit one of those. I knit, let's see, you take the scrap yarn, and if it's a lot of scrap yarn, I'll make some shorty socks or some socks for one of the grandkids. And then I do hexy puff, miter square blanket, jelly roll, magic knot ball. And if there's anything left, I mean, you can put all of it in the jelly roll. You can put all of it on the magic knot ball, or you can kind of split it up and say, okay, this is going to the magic knot ball, depending on how much yarn I have left. Magic knot ball, jelly roll, and then there's some that's thrown into a box. Well, I took the box to my friend the other day, and she makes crocheted baskets, which I've kind of shown on here before, but this is one of my small crochet baskets. It's got yarn thrown everywhere, needle hanging out. This is just a crochet basket, and that's what she does with all the scraps. And these are some of my scraps, and I love this one. But this is a 7-strand crochet basket. It's like single crochet with 7 strands of yarn. And it's really hard on the hands. I grabbed some leather straps from Amazon. It comes with different colors. And I just use a color of the yarn that I used in the basket and just sew it on. These straps actually came with some snaps to put them on with, but because the basket is so thick, the snaps would not stay, so I just sewed it on. The other thing that, boy, I just have everything everywhere, that I'm working on is this cowl. It's the Artemis cowl. And it's an infinity cowl. And I have it on my phone. I don't have it on my, I don't have a print out of it with me. But it's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's the Artemis cowl. It's used with Advent. So the pattern is written for Advent, where you have a main color and then you have 24 different colors. And I had this yarnable yarn. It's gorgeous. I can't remember. I think this is September's colorway. The Yarnable is a yarn subscription. You can go to Yarnable, and when they put your name on a waiting list and when they have an opening, they'll let you know. And it's a monthly subscription, and you can get fingering weight, which I did for socks, or you can get a DK weight, which I think sounds amazing. And it's sent to you every month, and it's awesome. I've had to pause mine for a while. But I got tired of making it's not that I'm tired of making socks. The colors that I was getting would be socks for me or socks for one of the grandkids. And I wanted to do something different with my sock yarn. So I thought this was a gorgeous color to highlight. And I had this undyed sparkle. I don't know if you can see the sparkle or not, but it's really sparkly. Undyed sparkling fingering weight yarn that I used for the main color, and then I'm doing stripes, and I'm not quite sure if I want to do it longer than this or not. If I do it this length, then whenever you wrap it around, it's a nice little length of a cowl. And I think I'm going to leave it at this. So when I get done with this right here, then I will take, did I just lose a stitch? I did. When I get done with this strip here, then I will take and Kitchener it to the first strip, which happens to be the red color, and then it'll be a nice little cowl. And I went to a conference for work back in October, which took up quite a bit of time, but one of the contacts that I made at the conference, I was knitting on that during some of the meetings, because I'm ADHD and I need to keep my hands busy, and I'm always knitting on something. And they just loved it and adored it and have asked me for it, and asked me what I was going to do with it. And I told them, well, it's yours if you want it. So I will be contacting them soon and sending that to them, so they can use it and enjoy it. I have a cowl. I have 2 cowls for myself. One I knit out of, I showed it on here, I think. I knit out of some bulky weight yarn, the Scarfy yarn from Lion Brand. And I really enjoy it because it's kind of an offset and it has some fringe, and I like it. Let's see, what else do I have? That's pretty much it for knitting and crochet. I went to a thrift shop today and I got this cute wire basket with a wood bottom, and I thought it still has the price on it. It wasn't very expensive. So we have a little, it's my proud thrifting moment. We have a little Humane Society type thrift shop in town. The next town over. I call it in town because that's where I usually go. And about once a month, they have a super duper sale. So anything under $10 was half off. Certain things were even more. But regardless, this was marked for $3. This basket here was marked for $3. My snack cake. I got this yarn, which I'm not sure what it is. It looks like it's been wound up. It looks old. It was marked for $6. Anyway, this is my $12 haul. Ready for it? $1.50. Yay me. This whole 2 baskets and the yarn. It looks like quite a bit of yarn, But I thought about using it, I don't know, in one of those cowls with some other sock yarn. It would be great for the main color of a cowl. It feels like it, I haven't really opened it. But anyway, if I'd paid full price of what it was marked, I would have paid $12. I walked out of there for $1.50. I don't seem to hit those sales very often, but when I do, it's worth it. So, yeah, it looks more like a lace weight. I don't know. I have my little doohickey that does the wraps per inch, and it looks more like a lace weight yarn, but it's just a cream color. Looks like it's been in a home with pets. Usually whenever I get yarn like this and it looks like it could probably use, there's hair all over it. I don't know what. It came in this bag all tied up. Sometimes when I get yarn like this, I will put it on my Swift and make a skein out of it, or my nitty knotty that I made out of PVC pipe and skein it. Sometimes I tie it to the Swift and I just flip the Swift and make it go round and round. And then I wash it. I do my little figure 8 things, and then I'll wash it and hang it to dry, because sometimes whenever you thrift yarn and it's in a bag like this and you can't see exactly, you kind of want to wash it before you use it. So that's my little thing. I do cheat and tie it onto the Swift and just sit there and flick it and make it turn real fast and let it go on there. I know, I'm weird. But I thought, see, I like doing this and then putting yarn for socks in here and just laying the sock, and then if I'm upstairs I can have it instead of the bag, because this really is too little for this project for the Misurina. But I can take this, I'm thinking about it because I was thinking about it on the way home, and I can throw it in there. And there you go. I have all my yarn, I have my pattern, and I have it all right there. And it's perfect. And I dropped a needle again. I don't know why my size 2 needles are in there. I really don't. So, I was looking for them the other day. That's not where they should be. So, anyway, I need to do some straightening up. I still have boxes of yarn in my closet, even though I took the scraps over to Leanne. And don't get me wrong, I didn't throw all of my scraps on her. I did have some larger amounts of yarn that she probably hates me at this point. But I did have a project, a whip, that I had started that I had gotten so flippin' frustrated with. And it didn't have the needles in it, but it had some of those little plastic locking stitch markers that when you order some needles from Amazon, sometimes they'll throw them in. And then that's the cheapest way that you can buy that needle, whether it, Zings or Chagu or whatever. Sometimes they'll do that. It had some of those still in it. And I just looked at her. I said, here, just take the whole thing. I just threw the whole thing in there. So she got good bits of yarn. Some cones of yarn that I found at some thrift stores that when I saw them, I was like, oh, I can do something. Something with them that I'm never really going to do anything with. So she got those too. She didn't just get scraps. Sorry. Burt's Bees, pomegranate. Love my Burt's Bees. I think this is one of the coloring ones. Some of them give you that little bit of a red color whenever you put it on. So anyway, we're almost at an hour. I don't want to keep you much longer. I have one more thing to show you that I'm really looking forward to, and that is making a rag quilt. So this is by Missouri Star Quilt Company. It's a quilt pattern for 10-inch squares, so it'll turn out to be a 54 by 63. And I have some squares cut out here already. So this is my 10-inch squares, and it's that cotton flannel. And when I went in, I did get a set of cotton flannel from the quilt shop. Being the birthday month, I got, or my local quilt store has with a punch card. And when you get your punch card, you tell them what your birthday month is. They circle it on your punch card. And when you go in there for your birthday month, you get a 10% discount. So I got these strips of the cotton flannel in the different colors. There's what's left. I've already cut these two. Well, not two. 3. I've cut these 3 already. And there's 12 pieces in here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different colors. Out of each one of these pieces, because it's folded in half, they're all coordinated. It's long enough and wide enough that I'm getting 4 10-inch squares from each piece. So I have more than enough to do this, but I have more than enough to do this. I do have some more of this cotton flannel that I'm doing some other things for, that I might actually look and see, do I want a different print or what have you. But I can actually do several of these. But what you're doing is I'm going to take one piece from the top and one piece from the bottom of this stack that I have. And it's simple. You put them on top of each other, wrong side together, so you have the different colors. You quilt in a diagonal, corner to corner, corner to corner. Okay? And then whenever you get those made, so you have 2 of them, you can do your color, whatever. And then you put the 2 squares together. Let's get another one so that we can show. You put your 2 squares together. After they're sewn together in the crisscross, you put them together. You're going to fold them together, 2 different colors. You do your seam across here, and then you can fold them out so it's going to like stick up. And then whenever you get it all sewn, you're making strips like that with your different colors. And then you sew all your strips together. And then you go through and you snip, and it makes it raggy on the edge. That's that ragged edge. And then you go across, and instead of doing a binding, you're doing your edges that way too. I highly recommend looking up the pattern, Missouri Star Rag Quilt. If you're a beginner, it's just as simple as cutting 10-inch squares, and it's so simple from there. And I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut squares out of, I don't know. I got I probably should have just cut 2 squares off of each one until I figured out how I wanted to do it. But I didn't. I took all 3 of these and cut 4 10-inch squares of each. So I'm going to kind of put them together, see what I come up with. Who knows? I may just cut them all and look at what I have in my stash, because I have an entire bag of that material somewhere here. Here it is. I have an entire bag of that material. These are just little strips of it. But I don't think I've cut it all into strips. I may have. It looks like I might have. I've cut it all into these strips. But I can sew a couple of these together to make a whole different type square. Or I can take these strips and make smaller squares and do all of those in the same process as that. And it'll be kind of cool. Because what I'm doing with them is cutting smaller squares anyway. I think that'll be kind of cool. Right now I'm doing one of those Midori bags with those. That's what I'm doing with that other material. And this, when you have your other one done, somehow you make a bag out of that. I'm in the process of learning how to do that one. So yeah, that's it. It's been almost right at an hour, and I'm itching to get some stuff done. And I will try to remember to put links to everything down below before this goes up. And I hope you take the time to really look at the leaves before they're all gone. Enjoy the weather that you're having, whether it's rainy and cold, whether it's just windy and crisp fall day, or if you're on the other side of the world and it's a nice, bright, sunny day and you're outside, or you're bundled up with a cup of coffee, doing something fun, something that you like, or tea, whatever. Just take a moment and say, yep, this is it. And take care of you. Bye.